Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, I hadn't quite cleared the throat this morning, but I have had 2 cups of coffees and I'm ready to go early this morning. It's kind of like the Jerry rundown day, and I've got 2 special people that I'm going to talk with today, and I think you're going to like it. But just to kind of give you an idea this morning what's going on, we were going to run up and get a trench in real quick for an internet line that, a couple videos ago that we were doing, that kind of thing. So we're going to run up and get that going this morning right away, check on the plants, just kind of give you an idea. Like every morning, Creekside is waking up, Jerry's getting up, and then running out in the Can-Am, going to go check on some things and just kind of give you a rundown of what things look like in a day. Just like today on top, we've got trench, plant check my people, check on what we're doing with the retaining wall at the building. I'm gonna go take a look at that. Then we've got some things going on at the garden center. So I always go by the garden center and check on that situation and see how things are going. So we're gonna go through there. We've got a meeting today with FedEx. That's to help improve FedEx shipping, to talk to them about their processes and all that jazz. And then we've got to run and get retaining wall block. There's a lot going on today. Hope for which some you will be coming along with us, but some may not. It just depends on what I want to do. So, but for now, we're going to jump in the Can-Am. But it is not Hydrangea Hill looking beautiful up there this morning. Look at that. Yeah, hot pink is Super Tunia Mini Vista Hot Pink is one of my favorites in this section. We'll see what we do for next year, but it is hydrangea season, and man, I'm going to show you real quick before we head up to production these puffer fish. Let me just swing you around. Look at that. They always look so beautiful in the morning. Sitting on the porch drinking my coffee, and I was enjoying Firelight Tidbit that we planted in front of the yard, and the white just glows, and you don't have to have some special genetic petunia that glows in the dark. You can just get you some white hydrangeas. These are pufferfish from Proven Winners Color Choice Shrubs. We planted, I think, 5 of these down this row. I'll tell you another plant that glows in the morning, and it's always in glow, is the Artist Blue Ageratum from Proven Winners. That guy is always in bloom. We love its electric light that it seems to put off. I think it's very underused and missed in the spring. Customers are so excited in the spring looking for the color, and it's just not quite in its full glory early in the spring because of the heat and everything that needs to happen. But if you would just buy it, plant it, take care of it, you're going to get that right there throughout the entire heat. It does really well here in the heat and humidity, and I think it'll be blooming electric blue from now until frost. So let's run up here, get an eyes on things that have happened since yesterday, and then get that trencher. I got to get that in before the guys show up to run all the new Wi-Fi stuff for our new inventory picking system software that runs all the e-commerce stuff behind the scenes. Okay, we made it up to production. Greenhouse now 1. Used to be called Greenhouse 3. We're having some naming changes on our greenhouses based on the inventory system, on how we need to go about our picking processes and whatnot. Has some beautiful stuff right here. Don't forget, perennials are 25% off right now. Do not forget that. Throw in some annuals too, some caladiums too. All of it's 25% off. Online, no code needed. Don't forget about that, okay? So you'll be seeing this video. Today's Tuesday, it's coming out on Friday, so happy 4th of July. Everybody have a great fun time. I think we may be picking up some fireworks today and all that stuff. But we're gonna go over here and check on progress, and then I'm going to grab the Bobcat Mini MT85 and then get that trench in that we've been needing to do. I waited to do the trench the last minute because all this potential of thunderstorms, which really never really got much big rain, but I want to see progress on this wall we're having to build, and I'll kind of explain that a little bit. And then we'll do that trench, and then hopefully check on some people, and then we got the 2 people specials that we're going to talk to. I think you'll like it. All right, so let's see here. Looks pretty good. Got the crush and run in up at the top. Some people call that ABC as your base. So make a hard base. It'll stuff, once it gets wet, hardens up like concrete, kind of like what we were dealing with yesterday, trying to dig down in that culvert pipe to get my water line, and it was very hard to dig through because it gets very, very hard. So I'm gonna see if I can back off here and I can show you with little bobcats right there. That post right there, this was a very steep hillside because we had to build up. Okay, so we're having to make sure that we retain that corner really well. So we went ahead and extended it all the way up. We're coming through here, and then we're going to do a step down, build up in here with the ABC, and we'll step down and start to retain all of this. Now all of this soil here is going to go away. We'll haul it off with one of the cats, and then we'll bring this along right in here and finish off with our sidewalk somewhere in here. Okay, 304 is a beast. Caterpillar 304 is a beast, digging out this wonderful trench we have made for our new retaining wall. Then we'll bring in Cat 265, get rid of all this soil here, probably maybe use it on the back side of this building, leveling off on the road, that kind of thing, and raising that up and getting out of that. I like that clay, make a good base, because over there where that road is behind the building is very sandy, kind of like over that way, some where that trailer is. It's real sandy. When it gets dry, it's like the Sahara Desert. But yeah, so my job is right now is to go get the bucket off, go grab that trencher over there, get a quick line trenched in to the pole, and from the pole to the building, so we have future internet inside the potting shed. So not really a shed, potting building, because it eventually is going to have walls, you know, water, air, probably some conditioning for the air, you know, heat and air. But anyway, let's get that done, and then once we get that done, we'll run down. Hopefully by then we can talk to our special people. Grabbed MT85 trencher, got that thing going, and I was like, haha, I gotta grab 265, and we're gonna move some of this gravel right here where I'm gonna do the trench from this post over here. That's going all the way up to this bigger post that's over here. Try to save some gravel, you know, I always do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we've got this nice, what you call a 4-in-1 bucket. You can see it kind of cracked open. Okay. Acts as a bulldozer, as a scrape, of course a regular bucket. It does all kinds of goodies. Caterpillar made a really nice one here. Really tough, thick blades. Look at this blade right here and that blade. I mean, it's really cool. You can kind of see how that, if you can angle, once you open this clamshell open, you've got that like pushing mechanism for almost like a bulldozer. I don't use that much, but it's there if we need it. But anyway, we're gonna grab this guy and then, you know, get over there and trench that spot in a second after we get this gravel moved. But anyway, nice cushy seat, Caterpillar, super nice. Got our mechanisms all in here. I think this thing, I'm gonna let you hear this. It sounds like an airplane firing up. Goes through a whole process here. It's our control panel. It's gonna ask for my security code. And then this will release from red to green. Park button stays on until I'm ready to go. On the outside, which is really cool, it flashes lights to let everybody around know something's getting ready to go down. Here we go. So it's green. Fire in the hole. Yep. So it's ready. Press my park button. Yep. That's old good news software. Beep beep. I'm ready to go. Press flash flash. We're ready to go. Everybody outside. Here we go. We have action. So anyway, we're gonna move some gravel real quick, and then we'll get the trenching. All right. So we got the gravel moved over. Let me show you that. So just trying to save some 265. Just move it over. It looks like a mess. We're gonna go from this pole back here behind me, trenching all the way up to this pole, and then on this pole, the guys will be here. We'll see if we get some video of it. 2 antennas that will broadcast Wi-Fi all the way out through the whole space. Okay, so then we're going to run one from this post up to the building for future internet. So we'll jump on MT85 and get some trenching. Okay, we got that done. All the trenches are complete. Wait on the team to get here to get that wire in the ground. So we dug us a trench out, a nice trench, all the way to this post over here. So on this post, we already have our power ready to go. And then we have this wire. This is a internet armored cable that is coming all the way from the annex. It was put in when we did the greenhouses here. So then we're trenching here, from here all the way up to our new building. Roberto's cleaning out the trench, and we're going in this wall that's going to be right there. And now we're just going to get the wire there. Then once we're inside, we got concrete and we got all sorts of different things to do inside the building there, and then we'll keep moving on. Okay. Okay, so we finished the trench. The guys are right behind me doing a good job of getting everything cleaned up. We've got production crew down in the greenhouse 3 working, and one of the people that I want to talk with is down here and has been a very big part of helping in the early stages of the plants and growing the plants. And we're just going to have a bit of a chit chat with her. Catherine is also down here kind of going through the inventory, and she probably looks like, you know, just double checking everything. They're over there double checking plants right now. And Catherine was walking through here with, you know, checking different inventories and different stuff like that. I'm not really sure what we're doing right here, but yeah. All right, so I had to pause there for a minute because we had to double check some watering situations. Yeah, Debbie's over here watering. Brittany was walking through and checking plants. So this is one of the 2 people I was telling you about, 2 special people we're going to talk to this morning. But I have a question for her. this morning, but she's been the one since the beginning of the season, kind of going through every morning and checking the plants and looking at them, and we work together on trying to make sure these plants look good. What would you, Brittany, find as the most challenging part of growing some of these plants? Yeah.
Water,
Water.
for sure.
For sure. Why is that?
Because it's easy to overwater, and you always, every day is different depending on the weather, how hot it is, how humid it is, how windy it is. There's so many different variables that go into when a plant does need water.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it just right.
Yeah,
and overwatering is a death sentence, so it's hard to get it just right.
Yeah, she hears me complain about watering, and everybody has a different way of watering, and we'll go through the different greenhouses, and I talk to different growers, and it's always the watering is the biggest deal. In the early stages, we're like, it looks like the desert in here. We're trying to keep them dry and cool, but now we're watering. It's kind of weird though. We were just walking through, and they're still wet from yesterday, and even though it's hot and we know the heat is coming, we're not watering. No, we're gonna let them dry out, and then we're gonna come back. We've got some perennials down here that we were just talking about that had a little bit of a shallow root system, and that's because I think of the watering and not for them to go struggling down. So what has been, I guess, maybe your coolest experience in here doing this year? She's
That's
like,
hard.
what a broad question to ask me, Jerry.
Honestly, I think potting at the very beginning was a lot of fun. That was really, really cool, and seeing the entire process of barcoding every single pot to potting every single pot, we're all working together and it's flowing, and you get in like a good flow that the whole day like passes by in a blink, it feels like, and then you turn around and look and the greenhouse is full of annuals and perennials. And I think the potting process was really fun to be a part of this year that I wasn't really much a part of last year.
Yeah. Brittany came in last year, and it was almost springtime. We were starting on a Saturday. That's the next Saturday. We started in February without you.
Yep.
The next Saturday was sort of the end of February. Yeah, but we had potted so much before that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. She does a really good job at production. So anyway, we'll probably catch up in a little bit. We're going to keep rolling. She's going to keep going through checking plants. But anyway, that's one of your special people working hard every day. Thank you, Brittany. Yep. So anyway, we're going to go back down to the greenhouse and check on things. It's just part of some of these things I do. I come through, check production, checking. We got projects going on, checking on that. You've seen all that this morning. Let's go. I think y'all like talking to the next one. Okay, we made it down to retail. And I kind of, when I go in the mornings, it's about 7:30, almost 8 now. Tuesday, of course, we're not open. Wednesday through Saturday, we're open. Website's always open, right? We got 25% off annuals and perennials going right now. But we do have down at the garden center, have been running some different specials. They keep changing. This week's been a hard week because of the heat. But I'll come through and kind of take a look at everything, try to find. Brittany sometimes is also down here with CeCe, so she does both roles. You'll see Brittany at retail and CeCe. So we're going to go grab CeCe now here in a second. We just got to find her. So yeah, I can see right now we got a clean out, blow out, but they got it working here. They're going to do today. But normally when I come through, at night, the plants will drop flowers and debris, and we like for it to be nice and clean for our customers when they show up. So we've got a whole process of doing all that. And in fact, I think that CeCe is over here working in the garden. Yeah, so we'll see if we can, grab her. It's gonna catch her off guard. But anyways, so got little lime punches blooming, and now I have found her. So, yep, she's busy working just like I told you. Yep, knocking it out. But like I was telling them, today is the day. It's Tuesday. We're closed. We're kind of doing different tasks, but normally we're getting ready for retail. CeCe's always knocking it out. But what's your favorite like a plant that you're thinking? Because CeCe's like you when you get here, she's gonna be one of the first faces you see, and she helps a lot of customers, of course, and she knows a lot of plants. So, but a plant that's mostly like overlooked, I think this will be a good one.
Oh, a plant that's mostly overlooked. I think right now, I think it's going to be the Glitters and Glows by Burnham's. They're so pretty back there. Um, that would definitely be one that's been overlooked. Um, I was trying to think what you were going to ask me,
I
and
got you in
then
trouble. See, I put them on the spot.
because it's kind of like asking, what's your favorite child? Because they're all my favorites at some point. Although, you know what? I'm also going to say the blueberries, the Southern Living blueberries.
Yeah, so those are two great plants. The glitters and glows is really cool. I like the texture of the leaf, and I like the fact that it's going to put on some different color in a little bit. It's growing really well over there in the signature garden. It's way behind me. It's on the back row. We've probably seen us talk about it. And then the fact that we got those Southern Living blueberries. We've enjoyed the blueberries at the house and the blackberries, you know. But what's your speaking about enjoying? What do you enjoy most about working at the garden center?
Um, Working at the garden center, I definitely love being able to be outside and to be around the plants. But I also I really like helping people like find the right plant for them and for their situation. It's kind of a fun challenge, when somebody is, they've got a certain space or certain types of water, or they're a certain type of gardener, trying to pair the plants or so that they are successful and have the best gardening experience, whatever kind of gardening experience they want to have. And then, just selfishly, like I said, being outside with the plants, and I get to see all the critters that are here. So
Yeah.
that's really nice.
Oh yeah, we're always hearing about the cool birds. I don't get. I don't know anything about the birds, but CeCe knows all the little animals and everything. But yeah, we're gonna let her roll. But I'm gonna keep rolling here in a few minutes. But we'll catch you in a second. Okay. So we're finished up, and I just noticed. Flip the camera around. We got the crew from Championship. You'll see them riding in right there at top. So we're gonna go meet up with those guys. Another thing that I'm rolling through today with, and make sure we've got the Wi-Fi stuff going and show them a trench we made. And then, but man, just walking through the signature garden this morning after getting over here, look at that. This is perfect light. I'd say, we've said for a number of years now that the Cleome, whether it's Blanca or Senorita Rosalita like this right here, is very much underused in the landscape. It's the landscape plant of the year for a very good reason. There's Truffula Pink Gumfrina hanging out, doing its thing this morning. Really, really, really excited about these plants. They look good right now. The doozies are still flowering. I got candy corn behind me, looking through. There's I think it's a quick fire fab. I have a whole row of those on the other side of the creek, and it's like one of the first blooming panicles on the market. And I had a whole crop of those that we grew several years ago, and those are from that, and just beautiful. But you can see the little lime punches, Jenny's favorite. Little lime punch growing. They're nice and strong stems. Look at the very, thick stems on these things, and they have these huge tight flowers, and they just bounce around. You know, you can whack them, you know, and they just do not flop. It is an awesome breeding from Megan Matai over at Spring Meadow. We'll see her in a couple of weeks there. So look at that thing. It's a good time in the garden right now. Other than the grass, we can still have those certain spots that give us problems. I think what happened was, you know, our story with the army worms that were here wiped out the really cool sods. So we got some new sod from the super sod, and it was some sort of blend of fescue that I'm not too fond of. It gets really long and straggly and wavy, and then it gets too thick. I may have showed you that with the new mower that we got. And so I don't know what I'm going to do once it comes time to reseeding and all that. It's a good thing we can work it out. We're just going to have to overseed, hammer it down this fall, and make sure that we're overseeding real heavy to get the grass in there that we want. But this time of year for here, fescue has hit its peak and it's on its way down. Now, if you have fescue lawn, don't freak out. It's just kind of going a little dormant during this. If you can just keep 1 inch of water on it, it's not going to die on you. Especially an established lawn, like in years of established fescue, because most of our fescue out here is not on irrigation, and it does just fine. It kind of goes a little brown, dormant, gets some rain, come out of fall, come out of summer, going into fall, and it does a really good job. So anyway, we're gonna go up there and check on Championship, and then decide if we're going to Site 1 or not. But yep, keep it moving. Okay, so the guys made it up here from Championship Networks in Gastonia. So you can see we got some new equipment they're be installing. We got the ground rod. We got some new APs here that are going to shoot out our signal for all our iPads. Conduit, everything's going to go in conduit right here. We got the trench made. So they're going to be busy for the next little bit. So another ground rod to protect everything. And then we're going to go to the building for a future wireless network inside the building. So they're busy getting all of their items together, wire and all that. So we're going to leave them alone. I know how it is as a been in landscaping and contracting. It's don't have the customer on top of you, you know, it just makes you work better. And actually, guys, it does actually make them be more accurate and do a better job. Sometimes having people over the top of you is not a good thing. So anyway, I think from now I'm just gonna go figure out the rest of my day and go check on everybody down at the house, and see where we're at with our Site 1 delivery. So if I have to decide I have to need to ride out there and go get that block, that I am going to go grab that stuff. But so that way we're ready to go. I know Jackson just got back from the quarry with a dump truck load of Crush and Run ABC for the base, and he's bringing some sand down right now to kind of level up the block. They're going to work on trying to get that first layer of block in. So, but look at these hydrangeas right here. Holy cow. Firelight tidbit. It's like the ones we got at the house. I think these need to come down to the garden center for those that would really like to enjoy firelight tidbit in your landscape. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up for the day. I thank you for joining. We'll see you in the next one. Do not forget about the annual perennial sale that's going on right now, 25% off. And we really thank you. We really appreciate you. We're working hard to continue to be better. Okay? All right. So just hang in there. Keep following. Keep watching. We really appreciate you. Bye-bye.